Hi, good morning. I wanted to share with you a pork roast I'm making tonight. As all of y'all know, groceries have went up, so everything's so much more expensive. So we're kind of transitioning away from having the ribeyes every night and bacon because we just can't afford it. Like, we're normal people. So I found this recipe on a website called Kitchen 10 Eats. It's Kitchen TIN Eats. And I'll post the recipe at the bottom to give them credit, but this turned out fantastic. It was an easy pork roast to make. As you can see, I got this on sale. Well, you can't really see how many pounds it is. Let me turn this other light on. See if that helps. All right. So I paid $13.17 for this, and this is essentially an 8-pound pork roast. So it was on sale for $1.49. So we went ahead and got some and put them in our freezer while they were on sale for that, because this is going to make so many meals out of it, it's ridiculous. Now, this recipe isn't necessarily carnivore. I'm not even sure if it's keto, just because it does contain orange juice, and that helps tenderize this. But anyhow, I've got the pork roast. I've got 1 onion chopped up and 1 jalapeno chopped up. I keep a bag of jalapenos in the freezer. I've got cumin, oregano, my Redmond's real salt, garlic, pepper, and the only other thing we're going to use is a little bit of avocado oil. But to start with, I'm going to take this, I'm going to rinse it under cold water in my sink, and then I'm going to put it in the crock pot to start building everything. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got this rinsed. I rinsed it with cold water. I have one of the bigger crock pots, so if you have a smaller crock pot, you would have to go down in size on your pork roast. The pork roast you pick, you want to make sure it's got a good fat layer on the top, because that's going to soak into the meat. But I rinsed it with cold water, put it in here, and I just put maybe a tablespoon or 2 of avocado oil, and I've rubbed it across the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sprinkle my cumin. And her website, she has exact measurements. I'm just doing it to taste. We like cumin. It's a good anti-inflammatory. So there we go. I'm going to put my Redmond salt. And this is almost a 9-pound roast, so these seasonings are going to soak in good. Some garlic powder, and you can use fresh garlic if you want. I'm just doing this the easy way. I've got my black pepper. Lots of that. And the only other thing is the oregano. It's not in the shaker, so I'm going to have to put this down to do it. Okay, so I've got my oregano on there. I'm going to place my onions, and this is just 1 onion. I use a sweet one. You can use any onion you want. I mean, I am assuming if you use one of the hotter ones, it's just going to change the flavor a little bit. And do not discard these when you're done. Eat it with your pork. It's so good. And I'm just placing it over it because I want those flavors to soak down into it. Okay, and then on top here is the jalapenos. Like I said, I have frozen chopped up ones because we bought a big bag of fresh and I just chopped it up. So I've got the jalapenos up there. So now, this is the orange juice I got. This is why I said this might not be carnivore or keto. I don't know how many of these carbs stay in the pork roast. I know this pork roast will make probably about, oh my God, at least 10 or so servings. It's insane. So you would have to calculate it out and I guess divide it by 10. I don't know how many carbs are in this, but let me open the lid. Okay, total carbs in the orange juice is 37. This is going to make about 10 servings or so. So I would say you don't have to worry about too many carbs. There's maybe 6-7 carbs per serving, if that. So definitely keto, possibly not carnivore. But I'm going to take this orange juice and I'm going to pour it around it. So the acids in this orange juice is what's going to help it. The acids is going to help it. So because this is so big and it covers my sides, I just go ahead and I get a little knife and I push this to the side to make sure the orange juice is nice and even everywhere. And also it gets up underneath it. So because of the size of this roast, I will be cooking this for about 10 hours on low. If you have a smaller crock pot, of course the smaller roast, it's going to be quicker. If you go to their website, you'll see they have settings for high, settings for low, and you can break it down according to the poundage of your roast. We stick around this size just because we have a big crock pot, and that allows me to put a bunch in, I like separate it into Ziploc bags in 2-cup portions, and then freeze it, so that way we can eat off of it for a while. It just makes life a lot easier, but I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on this, and I'll be back with you when it's done. Okay, it has been 10 hours, and I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. Lift up the lid. And there is the pork roast. All that lovely juice around it. I save that. I soak my dog's dog food in it. You can save it and use it as like a base for a soup. Anything you want. It'll freeze well. So, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to check to see how tender it is. So, see how it's just coming apart with the fork? So that's how I know it's done, because I can go through this whole thing with the fork. And if you're keto, you can mash up mashed potatoes, or not mashed potatoes, cauliflower, and put this on it. Yeah, see how it's just falling apart there? So that is good and done. You can just have it plain. If you're not keto or carnivore or none of that, then I would suggest, you know, eating it on tacos. You can use my pork rind taco recipe, make you some pork tacos with it, you know, however you want. I'm shredding it up right now. I'm going to let it soak in the juice for a little bit, and then I will get it out of there. But see, I'm just one hand fork and it's just falling apart. You can't get any more tender than that. But that's it. That's my pork roast recipe, or not mine. It's from that the website I'm going to put in the description. Right now it's called Recipe 10 something. But I'm going to put it down in the description. Go to that website. I've just been using that recipe, but it's their recipe, and it is so good, so easy. I mean, you can't get any easier than that, and it's, as you can see, fall off the bone tender. See, the bone doesn't even have any meat left on it. So there you go. Y'all enjoy. And here's the good part. The dog's got a little bit left over. I put their dog food, soaking it in with the juice that came from the pork roast. I've got the juice in a jar. Now you can freeze this and keep it as long as you want. I'm going to put it in the fridge because I'll be doing their dog food with it this week, just so they have a little treat. And now you're going to see some happy doggies. First one's Hank. He's a good boy. And then Petey. Come on, Petey. And there, we got some happy little boys there. Chowing on some pork juice from the roast we made with their dog food, and they love it. Best way to handle leftovers. Nothing goes to waste. Did you say something, honey?
I did. It was good.
Oh, Dad. Hubby said it was good. The pork roast. I didn't show that part of us eating it. But we've got plenty of leftovers. I've already got 2 Ziploc bags in the freezer with 2 cups each. And I ran out of Ziploc bags, and I have one of the big glass Pyrex bowls full of pork roast that I'm going to have to get some bags tomorrow and do. So it's, in this economy, with the price of everything, we were reevaluating, like, how can we save money because it's getting too expensive. That was our answer. If there's a cheap cut of meat at the store that you find, and it's very inexpensive but will feed you for a while, or, you know, at least cut your cost, get on the internet, look up recipes. That's how I found that one for pork roast, and it works perfect. So like I said, I'm going to do a link at the bottom. But thank y'all so much for watching. Hope y'all enjoy the dogs eating. I know y'all been watching them for a few minutes. Thank you to my Patreons, and give this video a like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Bye.